Losing a pet is like losing a piece of your heart. If you're struggling with grief, you're not alone. At My Dog Died, we understand the pain and are here to support you. Visit us today and find comfort, guidance, and a community that cares. We received a letter from someone who's lost their pet and have allowed us to share their story so that it will help other listeners deal with the loss of their pet. Remember, if you like this video, please support us with a like, subscribe, and share. Hello, friends. When I opened Ethan's letter, I could feel the heaviness in his words before my eyes even began to trace the ink across the page. Ethan, a 51-year-old from Jackson Hole, Wyoming, had written to us about the kind of loss that leaves a scar on the soul. His beloved Labradors, Lola and Butch, were just 3 and 4 years old, young, strong, and bonded in the way only certain pairs of dogs can be. Ethan shared with me that the tragedy unfolded on a hunting trip in the foothills of the Tetons. Hunting was a way of life for him, not just a sport, but a tradition woven into the fabric of his family for generations. And Lola and Butch weren't just companions. They were part of that tradition. They would run the brush together, perfectly in sync, as if tethered by an invisible line. Ethan said they had this uncanny ability to communicate without barking. One glance between them, one flick of the ear, and they moved as a unit, a silent symphony of Labrador teamwork. But that silence became unbearable on the day everything changed. Ethan described the moment in painful detail. In the rush of excitement, as a bird flushed from the grass, his finger pulled the trigger at the wrong instant. The shot struck where he never intended, and in an instant, both Lola and Butch fell. He dropped his rifle, his knees buckling under him, the sound of the shot echoing like a cruel taunt in the valley. "I took from this world the 2 lives I loved the most," Ethan wrote, his words trembling on the page. The bond they shared had been profound. Butch was the older, more cautious one, steady and deliberate. Lola, younger and playful, always tried to sneak a paw in front, daring her brother to keep up. Ethan told me how at home they'd curl up together, sometimes stacked on top of one another like mismatched pillows, breathing in the same rhythm. They had a way of making the house feel alive, even on the coldest Wyoming nights. In his letter, Ethan confessed to me the unbearable guilt he carries. He wrote that he hasn't been able to step into the woods since that day, that every time he hears a gunshot in the distance, it feels like the wound is torn open again. And yet, he also wrote of gratitude. Gratitude for having known them, gratitude for the years he shared with their unconditional love. Ethan said he found MyDogDied.com late one night when sleep would not come and the house felt too quiet. He typed into the search bar something he never thought he'd need to: how to live after accidentally killing your dog. That's how he stumbled upon us. He wrote that reading the stories here, hearing the voices of others who knew the crushing weight of loss, gave him just enough breath to keep going. For the first time, he said, I didn't feel like a monster. I felt like a grieving father. As I read those words, I felt my own eyes burn. The truth is, I've spoken to many who have lost their companions in ways that left them feeling responsible. A door left open, a leash that slipped, a moment of distraction. Loss under those circumstances carves a deeper wound. It isn't just grief, it's guilt, shame, and regret, tangled together. And yet Ethan's story is also one of love, because only love could make the pain so sharp. Only love could make the absence so profound. I told myself, as I folded his letter back into its envelope, that Lola and Butch did not die without knowing how deeply they were cherished. Dogs don't measure life in years. They measure it in moments, in belly rubs, in muddy runs through tall grass, in the warmth of a shared bed. By that measure, their lives, though short, were full. And maybe that's the gift they leave us, even when the ending is so heartbreakingly wrong. The reminder that love is not lessened by tragedy. If anything, it is magnified. Tonight, as I think of Ethan sitting under those wide Wyoming skies, I imagine Lola and Butch running again, shoulder to shoulder, ears flying back, eyes locked in that silent language only they understood. Free, whole, together. And I whisper a quiet prayer for Ethan, that he may one day carry their memory with less weight and more warmth, and that he never forgets what his dogs already knew, that his heart was their whole world.
Your love for your pet never fades, and neither should your support. If you're grieving, don't go through it alone. Visit MyDogDied.com or call us at 85-5925-2658 and connect with those who truly understand. Healing starts here. Remember, if you like this video, please support us with a like, subscribe, and share. If you have a story that you would like to tell us, your dog stories at mydogdied.com, at gmail.com,